Welcome back, everybody. My name is Dreg Gagan, and this is GregTech New Horizons. Well, the previous video was recorded sometime around Christmas, and it is now just past the middle of March. I've been busy. We have been ripping out carpet and replacing the flooring in the house, and so that has kept up a lot of my time. And the little bit of time that I did have to be playing, I spent it primarily working on long-term tasks that take quite a while. If I go ahead and open up my my list of things that I'm currently working on, you guys can see I probably have most of, I don't think I have quite all of the stuff I need, but most of the stuff I need in order to make the level 1, the tier 1 rocket. In addition to that, I have some stuff here. I'm going to try and get an industrial TNT setup going. The biggest problem with getting industrial TNT right now is the fact that I didn't have either a distillery or a distillation tower to take the wood tar and make the toluene. So one of the things I was doing in my off time was getting enough of the stuff for that. You can also see that I've got this list of all the different things from genetics to work with bees, and then the rest of the bee stuff, the gene database. I went ahead and made an advanced arc furnace. One of the other things is that I am now on version 2.3.0 that released, I think it was like just a few days ago. I went ahead and upgraded and updated and stuff, and the advanced arc furnace, they re-added, I think it was missing before, but they re-added the ability for the arc furnace to turn sand into glass. So now that I can make glass again easily this way, they may have done away with stuff like getting the oxygen from, because there used to be a super easy oxygen setup. Basically, you would take sand. Let's see if we can go ahead and find it real quick. What we used to do is we used to take sand. Let's do it this way. If we go to glass, and in order to make glass in the arc furnace, we would take sand, make the glass. Then we would take the glass and run it through a pulverizer to get the glass dust. And then what we would do is with the glass dust, I think that got electrolyzed. And I think that's what's missing now, is now there is no electrolyzer recipe for glass. Now, maybe it was a centrifuge to silicon dioxide dust. I'm trying to remember my previous setup. Can this guy get electrolyzed? And I think that's where a lot of the stuff is missing, is there's no electrolyzer recipe anymore to do that. But one of the other things that we would then do is then we would also take the glass and we will run the glass through the sag mill in order to get sand. And since you got 2 glass per sand, and then you put this thing through, you had basically infinite sand just by sending that stuff through. I don't think there is, let's see here, you can electrolyze sand to the silicon dioxide dust, but there is no more way to get oxygen through the electrolyzer in order to create basically infinite amounts of oxygen. So I've been primarily relying on the electrolyzer for doing that kind of stuff. If we look at this and we look at the electrolyzer, we have stuff like, there's 89 pages worth here, and so I might take some time and run through it and see if I can find something that is in the realm of glass in order to get that oxygen. Yeah, I'm thinking sodium oxide. Yeah, that's not it. Quicklime, that's not going to do it. So maybe there's something in here that we could do with sand in order to get glass, but I think for the most part, do you need it? Maybe, but do you need to set up a permanent setup like that in order to get all of that kind of stuff? I doubt it. And so I've just been doing just fine without. So I'm going to go ahead and that's all I was using that for, was getting glass. And then I have an idea to make some super tank 2s simply because they use MV circuits instead of LV circuits, and now I've got a ton of MV circuits, but not very many LV circuits as I've been using them. Yeah, so those were kind of the plans, is to get to Tier 1 rocket, get through genetics so that we can work with bees, and then I also went ahead and I have the stuff set up to make a multi-smelter, and I didn't realize I was going to get fireworks. There we go. And then I have the stuff set up here for a second distillation tower, which will be to take the wood tar and get out its byproducts. And then over here I have all of this stuff set up and ready to go. I did make a second backpack, and I made both of them a larger size, so that is a nice to have. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and grab all of these things. We'll grab this out. We'll grab that out. And then this guy. There we go. So we'll go ahead and get this guy done first. Put those in. There is our acclimatizer. So the acclimatizer is nice to have. That means that we can make some of our bees that want things like the jungle. We can get it to be less needing the moisture, and that way we can work with it in other environments, or we can increase our ones that want like a meadows biome to be able to put up with the increased humidity in our current rainforest biome. So that's a really good item to have. We then have these guys right here, the gene pools. I only need one gene pool. Okay, I don't want to get that's why. These other two guys want the iron furnaces for them. So we made our gene pool. Now we've got our iron furnaces in order to make 2 incubators. And the quest book actually says you need to make 3 incubators. And the reason for 3 incubators is, of course, because you need the third one in order to go from well, crud. You have to go from water with to make the growth medium, and then you take the growth medium to make bacteria, and then you can take the bacteria to make more bacteria, or the bacterial vector, or polymerizing bacteria. But anyway, we can definitely go through making a lot of this stuff now with those incubators. Yeah, creation of liquid growth medium, which is from water and growth medium. Make that with wheat to make bacteria, and then a third time with sugar to give enzyme. So enzyme is the one. We need enzyme in order to make the isolator. So we're going to need to make some of that here in just a bit. But then I did all the rest of the stuff here necessary in order to get the rest of these guys. So let's go ahead and start off with a mixer for either our DNA or our fluorescent dye. So let's see here. My mixer is, I think it can be done in this mixer, yes? Yeah, it'll be done here. So I take that, and then blue and purple. There we go. And then what I need to do is go ahead and melt down all of this. And we'll wait until this thing gets the first batch of 16 that we need. There we go. Whoops. Put that into our mixer like that. And then once the other half is done, we can put in the rest of this, and we will have our DNA dye and our fluorescent dye, which are necessary not only for crafting the analyzer and the sequencer, but then you also need these things in order to do some of the actual genetics stuff. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. We'll let this stuff finish up. And in the meantime, I can go ahead and get our gold ingots that we need in order to put into, and this can now go ahead and fluid auto output. And we will do, let's see here, I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, and we put this to a 2, and we'll go ahead and get our 2 blank sequences. Then we can get our 12 empty serum vials. We can use that to make one empty serum array, and then we can also get our glass cylinders done. So let's see here. That guy is done. 40. Oop, that isn't what I wanted to do. I need to increment this guy first. I have more than enough, but yeah. Let's see here. I think I need 40. Nope, 44. So there we go. We're getting our empty serum vials there. Once we have 10 of these, we can slap it back in and get ready to make the empty serum array. And then we can also make these glass cylinders. There is our 16 DNA dye. If we go ahead and get this second set of 16. The whole reason for making 16 is there's another quest, the other quest in here, the tools for the geneticist, wants that set of 16 in order to make this stuff. And then it gives you some more of the stuff that you'll need in order to be able to manipulate the genetic material like it says there. So yeah, we'll just let that guy run for a little bit. In the meantime, we can go back over and go ahead and get this, get these other two pieces done here. Those take this, and we do one of these for the analyzer, and then, I didn't at least grab two of these guys from this mixer over here. There we go. And we'll take this stuff over and make the other genetics piece that we need, like so. Our sequencer. So we have our analyzer and our sequencer now. I don't know which of these wants the quest in what order. I may need to make the... I may need to spend some time making the enzyme in order to make it, what is it? I may need to take the enzyme in order to make it, pardon me, excuse me, may have to take the enzyme. Oh, it looks like I don't have enough gold. So I did those guys. I just need, what is that, 2 more things of gold? Yeah, probably because I made the extra, that extra gene sequence thing real quick. So let's grab 2 more of these. One of the other things that I did do over here is I planted the Galvania tree. I've got some of my plants going now, producing resources so that I can get things I need. The Galvania plant is particularly useful because you can use that with the zinc ore in order to get the gallium until you get further along in the planets in order to get more sources of gallium. So that's always a good thing there. Let's see here. And there we go. So there's our empty serum array. And then we just need these little glass cylinders here, and that should take care of our of all of our genetics materials. There we go. That should clear up our, there we go, tools for the geneticist. And then I need to accept these rewards simply because that's the only way I get the 2 serum arrays here to make the polymerizer. So let's go ahead and get that done. There's our polymerizer. And then the other thing that we have are the emerald plates for the inoculator. So if we take a look now, the thing it wants is the isolator. Didn't we make an isolator? I thought I made, oh, the isolator, right. That is the one with the enzyme. So the isolator needs to get made. And then once we have the isolator made, it'll basically complete all the rest of these quests, and we can make our gene database, and we'll have everything we need for genetics. And that way I can start working with the bees on a genetic level. I should be able to, you know, I should be able to get out their gene sequences. That would be a good thing, like to get the 4 times drones when we do the breeding versus just like a one times on the Rocky Bee. But then the Rocky Bee can also go and get us better results when it comes to our ability to work in the rain and to work underground and things like that. And then we can start making some perfect bees that don't care if it's nighttime, don't care if it's underneath a roof, don't care if it's raining, and they can constantly be working to produce us the best materials. So yeah, that was everything for that. When it comes to both my multi-smelter and the distillation tower, I need to build all of the little pieces that go into it, like the inputs and outputs, buses and hatches and so on. So I'm going to do that while I'm off camera, and then find a place for these genetics things to go, because I believe they rely on power. So I'm going to need to power them, and then we can start having some fun with genetics. We'll get the distillery tower up for making everything out of wood tar, so I'll have power as well as being able to make the industrial TNT, and then we'll get into our tier 1 rocket. So hopefully by the end of this episode we will have our tier 1 rocket completed. I'll look forward to seeing you guys back here in a bit. Alright, it's been a little while and I finally got my my multi-smelter up and running. I'm only running it with HV power and these Canthal coils. It's able to smelt 16 items at 6 seconds each. Excuse me. Yeah, it does a pretty decent job. What I did was I have this medium voltage transformer sitting here. And then on the other side of it, I put an MV battery buffer with 4 MV batteries, and then I ran it across to a pair of energy hatches right there, and just got this little guy set up so that I don't have to do smelting within my the basic, what is this, basic furnace? Yeah, the basic furnace here, basic electric furnace. And then the other thing I did is down here, I rearranged this mess. I now put it off to the side here. I get the wood tar coming down into the distillery. The distillery then does its thing with it, and then I've got this super tank 2, so it can hold 8 million buckets of benzene, and I put it into a 4-stack of turbo gas turbines, and then those guys go into an HV transformer, and then that guy sends it up and around. I'm using 4 times aluminum cable because I'm expecting to eventually have basically IV power running through the line, so I went ahead and just made that ahead of time. And then I made a few of these high voltage transformers to keep my power lines where they were previously. I've got this one over here that connects to not only the HV energy hatch here of the vacuum freezer, it then also comes over here and attaches to this HV energy hatch for the large chemical reactor, and then comes over here and does both the power for the multi-smelter and for my clean room. There's not much in the way of battery buffers. I have a battery buffer here that powers the LV line. I have a battery buffer here, just a single small cadmium battery that powers the farm that does the wood for the benzene setup, and then I've got this one MV battery here that then goes into this transformer to power all of those things there. I would like to have like some kind of EV battery buffer like here in between the voltage transformer and the actual cable setup, but I don't have the means to make the EV battery cells just yet. So yeah, that's on the list for later, but at least I've got some of this stuff a little bit set up for future growth. But yeah, anyway, that all is set up and operational. I've been using the chemical bath to make mulch because I have my genetics set up here. The mulch I was using to make growth medium, which then goes with the water and, you know, comes through this way and makes you know, the growth medium, and then bacteria with the wheat, and then using the bacteria and making stuff such as the polymerizing bacteria. And I've got a few things of DNA sequence here that I want to polymerize, but it needs a full 1,000, and yeah, so the 600 or so, I can't just click it into this thing. It wants to actually go, be in like one of the genetics glass cylinders, which means it needs 1,000 millibuckets instead of the partial that I've got right there. So yeah, that's what has been going on, was getting all the power rearranged, get things set up, in particular getting this distillery tower set up. And then if you notice in my inventory, I have just this gigantic mess of sugar, some polyethylene pulp, some nitration mixture, some toluene. This polyethylene sheets are just, I decided to make a whole batch instead of trying to make just a partial batch to get only what I needed done, because I was running low anyway. So yeah, those can go away now. And then, yeah, this is everything I need now so that I can make a bunch of gelled toluene, and then I can turn that into industrial TNT, and then I can take the industrial TNT and we can actually start working on our rocket. I may need to actually make materials such as, you know, a bunch of bronze ingots to make the compressed bronze plates, but at least in terms of what we have now, I should be pretty close on what we need. Probably the biggest thing so far is the fact that now I can run my EBF basically continuously with EV power. I don't have to like run it for 3 minutes at a time and then wait for these batteries to recharge, all because I now have, one, plenty of incoming benzene, and then that sends plenty of outgoing power. So yeah, looking pretty good for our setup. If I go ahead and get this stuff prepared here, I can do 64 of that, and we'll do just one stack of that. And then here in the input thing, I can get in all of that. So there we go. That thing will kick off, and I can just, I can expect the gelled toluene to be coming out. Wow, 63 seconds each. Okay, so it'll take it a little bit of time to make this stuff up. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here while this is grinding away, and I will bring you guys back in once we are a bit closer to having our industrial TNT, and then, yeah, that should be the last break before we look at all of the materials for our rocket and get the rocket built. So see you back here in just a bit. Well, it's been an hour, and I finally got through creating all 18 stacks of gelled toluene. So now I've gone ahead and I've begun the process of getting all of this gelled toluene converted into industrial TNT. I can combine that with the 60 TNT or iTNT that I have available over in, I think it's this one that I've got all of my space stuff in. Yeah, so, or not 60, but 32 anyway. I think that's the only one. Yeah, just the one. Okay, so I've got 32. I'll be making another 145 with the 29 containers of nitration mixture that I've got, and we will see if that is enough to get me through this. It might not actually be, because we've got 74 iTNT necessary to make these heavy-duty plates, another 53 for just the compressed aluminum, and this isn't the full list. This was just what I had gotten into when I was looking at it last. So I will likely have to be making quite a bit more. I guarantee I'll be making more because we'll have to make the tier 2 rocket and all of that. So I've got that going on. Once that's done, it's kind of boring. Taking a bunch of stuff, putting it in a bending machine, take the iTNT and then smash it together here in the industrial compressor, and just add repeat until we get all the way through this stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut here. I just wanted to show you guys, yeah, we've got a bunch of nitration mixture. It's going into making iTNT while I put this stuff in here. So add another 2 stacks. It's pretty quick making the IT&T. This stuff was 63 seconds long. This other one is 4 seconds to get this stuff done. So pretty short, and then I'll get started on this list of stuff, and then as we get things done, I'll bring you guys back in and we'll get the different components crafted so that we can make our way through the space race. Primarily focused on this side. I don't know that I'll be going into the rocket fuel in this video. Actually, I guarantee I won't, just because of how long the video's running. So we'll see you guys back here in a bit once we've got more of this stuff set up and ready to go. All right, I just realized that one of the things they added with the new version of GregTech New Horizons, if you hit the using key on a loot bag, it shows you everything you have the ability to get from that loot bag, and these tier 3s actually can contain some of the compressed stuff, a half stack of industrial TNT. You've seen me get like the oxygen mask and the oxygen gear, but I might also get an oxygen tank. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and just really quick open up these things before I get too much further along. I'd already made 8 of the compressed tin plates. But if I go ahead and open up these loot bags, yes, some of them are just like bees, some MV ones, a forest ranger, some basic bees, but I figure I'll go ahead and open them anyway, and that way I can take whatever they give me and do something with it. So there's a necrotic frame, all right. There is a set of leather boots and some food. Let's see here. How do I want to organize this so we can see what I actually get? We'll go ahead and do it like that. Forest Ranger one real quick. Gave me a rain tank. All right. And then basic bees. Some bone meal. I'll put that somewhere else. A little bit of beeswax. Some string and some wood screws. Leather boots. And then some silky comb. All right, bee stuff is done and out of the way, so let's go ahead and move on to these MV bags real quick. Beeswax with chicken? Interesting. Let's see here. We'll put that stuff in here. Some Damascus steel ingots and some leather pants. And then an MV macerator. Interesting. All right, and that completed a quest. Actually, I'm going to put the MV macerator in this one with my other leftover machine components. There we go. All right, so here we go. Some food. Whoops. I got some crop harvester and some food, and then some regular transistors. That time I got a block of redstone and some more transistors. All right. Now I got another crop harvester. Ooh, an energy crystal and some reinforced glass plates. Another energy crystal and some obsidian. I want those though. There we go. Pressure plate and some advanced circuit boards. All right. Some steel poles. We'll put those in there for later. Good circuit boards and diodes. Apples and some pressure plates. A set of the carbon body parts. Unfortunately, I already have a set of those. I had already crafted those earlier. They're around here somewhere. And we'll just put them in here for now. Tracks and slime balls. More tracks and another crop harvester. Okay, so we weren't lucky when it came to those HV bags. I was hoping for something, something along the lines of the, an oxygen tank or maybe some more industrial TNT, something that would go a long way towards working on our rocket, just so that I wouldn't have to use quite as much industrial TNT. So, all right, back to smashing up some more of these things, and then, you know, smashing them with this, and then going through this parts list. So we'll see you in a bit. All right, we have the finished up product here. Almost. There we go. Get a 37th one in there. Maybe? Oh, it needs 2 each. Ah. And then with that done, there is our 37 heavy-duty plates. That should complete a quest. That quest then, of course, opens up the rest of these pieces here, so we'll work our way through each of those, probably over here at the crafting area. Probably the biggest problem right now is just making sure I get it all made. Let's see here, rocket control. Oh, I did not see that this requires open computer parts, so this is going to be something I'm going to have to work on here in a little while. I don't have the stuff necessary to do this guy. I'm going to have to figure out what he requires. Yep, same thing with the rocket nose cone, needing these red inverted cage lamps. So I have a bit of crafting ahead of me in order to get all of this stuff prepared. But we have the 37 plates that we need. This is going to be fun, is to get this raw alloy here. This one like so. And then this guy like so. And that requires some compressed coal. So that's going to be a compressed double aluminum. So yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of fun getting everything here up and running and together in order to get the parts of the rocket. But we did at least get our heavy duty plates made, the 37 that it wants. And then if I look in the quest book, I've already accepted the other rewards there. So if we have a look-see here, I've got these 5 bags. And let's see if we can get something decent out of them. Some blue alloy cable, SMD capacitors, and some carbon plates. 9 energium dust. 2 trash fire clay pots. Alright, good, I guess. And then lastly, some SMD diodes. Alright, so no luck with getting anything useful for the rocket, but as you can see now, I've got another list of parts. I'm going to get these parts all figured out, gathered up, and I'll bring you guys back in here once we're ready to craft all of these various components. Yeah, because like even this, it requires some stainless steel for a small fuel canister. It of course wants 2 of them, so yeah, I'm gonna have to make 2 of those. We only need the 1 rocket nose cone. We need 2 of these rocket tier engines, so 2 of those, which means 4 of those. So yeah, all the various pieces and components, a steel firebox, some computer cases, and things along those lines. So I'm going to work on getting all of this stuff gathered up and ready in order to build the rest of our rocket. I'll bring you guys back in once we are a little bit closer to being complete with this thing. All right, we are finally back with what I think is all the materials necessary in order to build everything we have left in order to get our rocket up and running. If I go ahead and begin over here, I have the stuff to make the rocket engines. So there's our 2 rocket engines done. I also have the nose cone there. So there's our nose cone done. I also have everything necessary. Let me go ahead and get stuff out of the backpack here, like so. And that will get us our lander, which I believe we're now ready for. Yep, so there's our lander. Done. Of course there's fireworks. You know, why not? And then over here in the assembler, I can plop in the 2 blank fuel tanks, the 2 compressed dual aluminum, 2 compressed bronze, and get our 2 small fuel canisters there. There we go. And then I need to bump this up to a 5. We can drop in our 8 compressed steel and our 16 heavy duty plates, and we can get out our 4 rocket fins there. So there is that. The last thing here is I need the assembler with 4 molten soldering alloy, so I'm going to have to get that done. In the meantime, I can go ahead and put in the display. Let's see here. That's the only thing I have in here. The rest of it is here. So there we go. We've got our keyboard, our sensor, our emitter, our computer case. Oh, and 1 heavy-duty plate. So let's go get the 4 soldering alloy for that and get that guy built. So here we go. There is our 4 soldering alloy. We'll get that melted down real quick. I ended up having to make another large chunk of industrial TNT. I ended up with enough ammonia from this thing running previously to get 15 canisters of ammonia, and then I used that with 15 things of sulfuric acid, and was able to craft up, I think it was 150 more industrial TNT, which was what was necessary in order to get that guy running. Oh, this needs the HV assembler, so let's go ahead and we'll take this out, and we'll grab these guys here, and we'll just come over to the HV assembler. I can't melt it down next to the HV assembler because I don't have a fluid extractor here for this guy, so not a big deal though. We'll just come in here, put in our pieces, keyboard, computer case, keyboard, display, emitter, sensor, plate, and 4 molten soldering alloy. That says it's what it is. Computer case, keyboard, display, emitter, sensor, heavy duty plate. Keyboard, emitter, sensor, heavy duty plate. All of those are HV, right? HV, 1 heavy duty plate. Just a typical display. Keyboard and a computer case. Well, why is this not craft? Oh, needs clean room. Even better. Okay. Do I have? I don't know that I have an assembling machine in here that is at that power. Advanced cutting machine, precision laser engraver, and a circuit assembler, but not a regular assembler. It's nice that it won't do the craft unless I have it in a clean room. That's just a little annoying that it requires a clean room. I think that's new. I could be wrong, but I think that's new. So we'll go ahead and pull this up. And I lost my 4. Of course I did. Of course I pulled it up before I grabbed my 4 soldering alloy. So I'm going to have to melt down 4 more now. That's smart of me. And as you saw, I don't have a whole lot of soldering alloy left. I'm going to have to spend some time getting some tin. I think I pulled up a tin. Yeah, there was a tin right there. I've pulled that up, so I would have to go... I may have stuff in here. Yeah, looks like I'm going to need to make another run of soldering alloy. Let's go ahead and we'll put our lander all but one of those, our 4 fins, our nose cone, our rocket engine, and the rest of that stuff we need. Those I don't need right now. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing all set up and running. We'll get it creating our setup that we need. I can put that away now. We'll grab out all 4 of those. And I'm just gonna temporarily set this guy up in here. There's no reason for me to keep it in here at this point. I think this is probably the only thing that requires a clean room for it. So 1, ding, 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 and ding. And there it goes. Now it's crafting it. And it takes 30 seconds, needs a clean room. Clean room is running. So we're good as far as that is concerned. And then because we made the small fuel canister, I already have the other stuff for the fuel loader. Yeah, the fuel loader is over in the in a crafting in one of the crafters over in the crafting area. We already did our lunar lander. So here we go. There is our tier 1 control computer. And then if we come over here, right here, here's our fuel loader. There we go. Gas her up. And so if we come into this, we should have everything we need at this point. 1 of those, 4 of those, 8 of those, 2 canisters, and a lander. And I believe that is everything that it needs. I think I just have to hit... No, it just gives it back to me. Okay. That guy... Oh, that's what I was missing. I hadn't put the control computer in there yet. So, yeah, that's all right. Those... Oh, there they are. I was like, where's the rocket fins? Where's the rest of my stuff? All right, so here we go. 8 of those, 1 engine, 1 nose cone, 4 fins, 2 of those, 1 rocket control, and 1 lander. And rather than putting a chest on it, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as is. I will bring plenty of storage space with me when we go to the moon. But here we are with our nice shiny rocket. Excellent. So that is it for this video. If we take a look, the last things I need is I need to make the rocket launch pad. These other things are optional, but I need to get the locks for the liquid oxygen. I'll have to fuel it up, and then we can take a look at some of these other things. Probably not going to do too much with it. Planetary tiers. This is just, yeah, it's just giving you a rundown of what you need. You need oxygen gear just for the moon. For tier 2, you need thermal padding because it gets too cold. You're too far away from the sun at Mars. Tier 3 requires tier 2 thermal padding because 1, you're out in the middle of nowhere or you're going further and further away. Tier 4 is, of course, your Mercury, your Venus, your Io, which is I believe that's the moon of Jupiter, and it just keeps on going. So that's just a nice little checkbox thing there. We're done with that. But it's going to ask, are you prepared? Do we have stuff like soulbound? It would be nice to have soulbound on some of our equipment, in particular things like our different pieces for going to space. We wouldn't want to lose that because then we can't go back without suffocating. So yeah, lots of stuff that we can do to prepare for it, but getting our tier 1 rocket was the goal. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, and I will catch you guys in the next video where we should have everything set up and ready to launch ourselves to the moon. Till then.